Wow. Well, let's talk about it right quick. You guys wanted to know what was I talking about? I was coming from the airport back to Chicago from Tampa. And as I was coming back, I think I was live, if I'm not mistaken. I might have been live. And I actually mentioned and brought up the fact about the Chung Lee song. I think I remember saying something about it. I brought up the Chung Lee record and I said, you know what? Take that back. That was Barbie Teens. Barbie Teens was the first one to come out. Then Chung Lee came out, I think, like the next day or something like that. But I was flying back from Tampa. Cardi album had just came out like the week, or not even a week, probably days prior, because I was in Florida when Cardi album dropped. So once that happened, when I'm getting ready to get on a plane, I think I went live and I spoke about the Barbie Tank song because I actually heard it on my way to the airport. And I said, oh no, she's going back to the Barbie thing. Then I'm like, this is a diss to Cardi. I'm like, oh man, when Cardi drops, you want to drop at the same time and try to come out dissing Cardi? This is a terrible idea. Then the next song comes out, Chung Lee. Now you went from Barbie, and now you dress like Chung Lee in the next one. You're seeming like you have an identity crisis on what your project is going to be. Now you're two different characters within two different songs, and no one knows what direction you're going in. Are you back on the Barbie thing, or are you Chung Lee? You know, like what is the theme of your album? Then your album comes out, and now you're some African goddess, and butt naked in a tree, talking about ganjas. So it was a whole mess of promotion, and this is where marketing comes in at and fails the artist. And sometimes the artist listens to the managerial team. I don't know how much of this input was Nicki's, but I think she needed somebody that could tell her no. So you know, a lot of stuff gets put on the marketing team and not the artist, or maybe the artist had said we run our course. That happens. You run your course sometimes with artists. You know, it happens. So that's it. So it's not a diss on Nicki. We're just talking about the marketing and how she survived the marketing wars back then. Because a lot of artists don't get a chance to recover. This new direction that her marketing team is doing now is getting people back to the essence of Nicki. You know, her being the rapper. And that's what I think the focus was lost at. But I won't say Nicki didn't do a lot of damage to herself. Sometimes when you're doing well, your ego is out of control, and you're not kind to everyone. You meet a lot of people, and it's that one person you rub the wrong way, or the second person you rub the wrong way, the makeup artist you fired. All of these things come back to haunt you when these people are working with other people, and relationships are damaged. You know, you weren't nice to so and so's cousin. You know, you were very rude to them and didn't know that was such and such, and you don't want to apologize, and they wanted you to do this, and the studio says you have to do that. It's a lot of demands and a lot of craziness that takes place when dealing with these situations. Many of you don't get a chance to see this side of the of the fence or have it explored. But I think her marketing team, or I don't know her or the marketing team, but they they have to take the blunt of the blame because of the way the promotion was done and the ideas and the concepts. I don't think this was a good idea. And if she vetoed the marketing team and decided to say, this is what I'm doing, then, that's just on her. But I don't like to see it that way. I like to see it in the way of the way it's drawn up. That she chose this lane. She chose to go down this avenue, but the marketing team went along with it. So Tez and those guys, I felt like they ran their course. It was time to move on and do something else with somebody else. Now, as far as her new management, she seems to be listening. And it's working. Megatron is actually a song back in the right direction of Nicki. That's the type of records she need to be making. Or getting her back to her zone. You always gonna have those people that's just, that's whack. That song is whack. Because they just not used to it yet. They're not used to Nicki being Nicki yet. They got to get back to that. Everybody's in the hate Nicki lane right now. So they got to get back to liking Nicki. But the things that she was doing, now she's on the Hot Girl Summer with, Megan. And when I was reviewing Megan stuff back in the day, nobody cared. But yet, I'm the one that did the whole Tina Snow review and was like, yo, this is dope. So I was already up on Megan Thee Stallion. But, people get distant when you start doing stuff for them to help them. They forget about you when they start blowing up. So it's all good though. But the Hot Girl Summer song, all the girls is using it. It's hot. So Nicki had to get on another hot record. But see, she got on the right record this time. All years, but all before, all the 4 years she was not making music. She was just popping up on people's hot songs. And kept throwing herself out there too much. But she survived it. She's still relevant in the game. She got this podcast show now, Queen's Radio. And now she's found ways to keep herself relevant in the business. And now she can vent and rage out on the radio station. It's a platform to do her music though, but all that other activity, I don't really have the energy for. But it keeps her in the game. Keeps her active. I think for her marketing team, they made her, I don't know if how much was her or how much was the marketing team. They made her naked too much. I mean, they exposed her too much. Like she was just too nude for no reason half of the time. And I'm like, you can't do that. When you're an artist like Nicki Minaj, you don't have to strip down to a thong bikini on every video. Got your booty sticking out at awards, looking like an oversized chocolate chip cookie. It don't look. It doesn't look appeasing to everyone that's watching. And in parents who got little kids that used to bump your music and play your songs, they are not too keen to seeing you completely naked on a on a platform like that. It's just too much revealing. Leave something to the imagination. They know what they know what you got. It just don't have to be on display all the time. When she first came out, you would not get a back shot of Nicki Minaj. Did you know that? When Nicki first came out, she wasn't giving you no back shots. You weren't able to see her butt. She wasn't doing those shots. You had to just use your imagination. You were going to see her face and you were going to hear her rhyme. That, I don't know what happened that caused her to want to reveal more and more and more and more and more and more and more. I don't know if it's the fans or whatever got to her, but these things happen. But anyway, I'm out. I didn't mean for the video to be this long, but I want to explain to the Nicki Minaj fans and everybody out there who say, you just be hating on Nicki. I'm like, look, I'm just tell you the real about the marketing thing. And I'm a businessman. So I love to see great promotion, great marketing. People who are doing the job very well. I'm like, oh man, this is a good job. But when it's done poorly or some bad directions, I got to point it out to the people that might not understand what I mean when I just break it down. Now you have a more concise explanation as to why the marketing was bad and why we're saying these things. So anyway, if you liked what you heard, don't forget you could hit me up on the Streamlab. Click the link in the description box and donate. Or don't forget to also hit up the Cash App if you don't have Streamlab or it's too difficult for you or something. Cash App is there. The name's Carcino on the Cash App. I'm very easy to find.